We make our destiny by our karma and vikarma. Our past karmas does determine what will happen in our life, but it does not determine how we will react to it. With respect to destiny, there are two schools of thoughts. 1. Karmavada. 2. Daivavada. Karmavada says that by your action you will be successful. If you just work hard and smart, that is enough. But it is a fact that so many people work hard and smart, but not all of them are successful. Therefore, Karmavada, the idea that everything depends on your actions, brings frustration, and the people who follow this doctrine tend to develop inferiority complex, because in reality, it is not our action alone that determines results. On the other hand, Daivavada says everything is determined by destiny and one has no control over it. Many thinkers and speculators, especially in the West, misunderstand the Vedic philosophy as being fatalistic, as everything is supposed to be predestined, and thus this notion preempts any purposeful activity. But the truth is that the followers of Vedic scriptures in India since ancient times were never lazy or fatalistic. The world's biggest poem, the Mahabharata, with 110,000 verses, is 7 times bigger than world's next 2 biggest poems. Could lazy people have composed such a massive masterpiece? Literature, architecture, art, and even science and mathematics reached great heights in Vedic times. All this cannot be products of lazy people. Thus, the Vedic philosophy is not Daivavadi. The real Vedic understanding is that our actions are determined both by our actions of this life and the reactions of past lives. For example, the sowing of the seeds and the plowing of the fields is the karma of the farmer, but whether it will rain sufficiently or not is the daiva. Simply by plowing the fields and sowing the seeds, there will be no harvest unless there is sufficient rain. Similarly, simply by sufficient rains, without sowing the seeds and plowing the fields, there will be no harvest. Therefore, the Vedic scriptures explain that you must just do your duty, the right karma, and not bother about the daiva part. Not bothering about the daiva means not letting our destiny discourage from doing our duty, whatever it is. This is so because if we do our karma now, it will give fruits. If daiva is favorable now, but even if daiva is not favorable now, then this right karma is still creating the favorable daiva for the future. Therefore, there is no reason to get discouraged or disheartened while performing one's prescribed duty. It is important to note that even if a person does good karma, that good karma will bring good reactions, and this means he has to still remain in this material world to enjoy the good reactions. Living in the material world means one has to grow old, get diseased, has to die, and has to suffer the threefold miseries of the material existence. Thus, even by good karma, we do not get out of the material world, because good karma is not necessarily godly karma or akarma. As long as we are forgetful of God, we stay on in this material world. The real way to come out of this material world, which is the place of suffering, is by developing our devotional service to God, which is actually a karma.